Hey everybody, thanks for watching. So, Path of Exile is not an easy game to make content for, and yet I have tried my hardest to find something interesting to play with and to show off. And as a result, I've come up with two different builds. I've got my Bino's build and my Curse build. So let's start off with the one that I've played the most of and that I've gotten the furthest with. This Bino's build is actually going further than I had expected it to go. This is going into tier 16 maps. It's already killed 2 of the exiles, and survivability-wise, it's not exactly where I want it to be, but then again, I'm using a leftover of my previous character, which is probably not the most optimal thing for it because it has energy shield and I have no way to generate energy shield. That being said, somehow the combination of having 2 binos provides you with an enormous amount of life gain on kill. My health pools are just shooting up instantly the second I kill a pack, and that's probably the only reason I'm surviving so much in some of these situations. For clearing, I'm using Pestilent Strike with Vile Toxins, Ancestral Call, Awakened added Chaos Damage, Deadly Ailments, and Unbound Ailments. This is the first time I've ever actually used Unbound Ailments, simply because of the duration modifier on this. Using Binos lets you spread the poison to all other characters. Normally this is something that is reserved to the Ranger, but since this is so powerful, I figured might as well use this for my Assassin as well. And it is super effective against Blights. I've never had it so easy in the Blight encounters. I go off to one edge, hit them once or twice, and let the poison take care of the rest. Some cold towers, some stun towers, and they will die on their own. I've played around with the low tolerance node as well. This one is actually kind of nice because it allows you to have that substantial single hit damage. So that, in combination with Playbearer, and white mobs just melt, evaporate. I honestly have a hard time knowing when I actually need to hit something and when Playbearer will actually just kill it on its own. I've played around with a few of the support gems, but nothing seems to actually impact it. Normally I have a ring right here that has my Summon Scare-bots. It's another 16% damage, so that's some bonus for only 35%. And Malevolence is supposed to give you 20 for 50% reserved mana, which is substantially worse. This also adds a chill effect to the enemies, so it has a defensive component as well. Leagues and miles more beneficial than having Malevolence. The rest of the gear is pretty standard, just trying to fill in as much life as I can. I've got some spell dodge here, life and resists. Well, actually this one is mainly damage, and then some resists and some percentage life. The tree is a bit low on life. I think according to PoE, Path of Building, I'll end up with 153%. If I replace this chest with something else, I should make it just above 5k, but this has also given me 300 energy shield, so it's a give or take situation. The main downside I have with this build is the fact that it doesn't have much regen on its own. So one thing I'm going to play around with is having the Writhing Jar and seeing if that will give me any extra bonus life gains. Since I've got the dual binos, is it going to give me the 400 health for having killed 2 worms? Or am I going to one-shot it and the poison's not applied? The rest is pretty traditional. I've got this little guy for a little bit extra crit and accuracy, dual totems with Wither, as well as my Despair Aura. Once I have Skitterbots socketed in, that's going to be practically all of my mana. I can actually sustain most of this normally with my other ring without needing any life leech. So unless I'm in a no region at all map, should be pretty good. As for my Curse character, this one took a lot of theory crafting. So this is a currently level 76 My Cursed Existence Witch. I've chosen the Witch just for the extra malediction. You could probably go with Scion for the extra curse and pick something else as your secondary. But this one does add some additional bonuses, particularly cannot be stunned while you have energy shield, and hexproof enemies. The alternative is to pick up the chest, which allows you to apply curses to hexproof enemies. But since that is an evasion based, you might end up going Trickster for the extra energy shield, or just go with a full life build. The reason why this character became interesting to me was because of these new jewel nodes, which give increased curse effects. So if you look at my effect, I'm at 89% right now. I can pick up another 10% right here. And if I feel like going along with my path of building, if I really, really wanted to push it, I could pick up 2 more trees here. It would probably be more efficient to replace some of these cold nodes with the actual Voices unique item if you can afford it. So how does it work, and how do I apply 5 curses at once with the press of a single button? The main point of this build is with the Vixen's Entrapment. So every time I use a curse skill, I can cast all 4 of the curses that are in this item. So with 1 curse, I apply 5. I also have the curse on hit, linked with my Frostbite, faster attacks, and Power Siphon. So the choice of Power Siphon is simply due to the fact that it's free power charges, essentially. And now with the Spellslinger gem, you're actually able to do all of this and also cast spells. So my mana regen is that which I am able to cast or attack without using up all of my mana, and do a few curses as well. My current setup is with Herald of Ice as well as Spellslinger. There is a possibility of going with a low life. There is a possibility of going with a low life alternative to this build. It would be probably another. I mean, it is another 30% more damage, with the need of picking up some extra resistances. And resistances are pretty tight on this. The fact that one of the rings is required to be a unique ring, this is required to be a unique, and this is also a unique for the 20% increased damage per curse. It makes filling out your resistances a bit trickier. So this is the item that I'm using on my assassin as well. Amazing resist mods on this, and a bonus dual socket. I'm not sure if I actually need this, but I wanted it, so it works. Also, this is kind of a trash amulet, but I got it just for the additional curse. You can also get additional curse on armors, but I really, really, really needed some defenses, and this one provides me with about 2,000 energy shield alone. So I didn't want to try and burn more cash than I already have, trying to get high energy shield as well as an additional curse. I've spent pretty much a lot of my ults trying to get the jewels to the way I want them, and I don't have that many left. I've resorted to actually using alchemy and scouring to roll my modifiers because it's a little bit cheaper than using chaos spamming, but that's still expensive. And so far, it's not that bad. It's been a breeze to level with, except for getting into the last difficulties. Getting stunned constantly was a problem until I picked up the Ascendancy for it, and also being permanently frozen because I used all my alterations rolling my cluster jewels instead of rolling the immune to freeze and immune to chill. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Not sure how far I could actually go with this character. I'm sure that there's an alternative use than Ice Spear that I could be doing. Maybe Magma Orb, maybe anything else. But Ice Spear has been the one that I have been most interested in because of the defense of also freezing them. So according to Path of Building on my Shaper Guardian damage, it's at about 90,000 per second form of my Ice Spear, and I'm shooting at 6 of these with a GMP. This is a lie, because I'm actually using not GMP, but lesser multiple projectiles, just for that like added oomph. It's about 20% less damage overall, but it has a higher chance to freeze, or a higher threshold. So as you can see, I can freeze anything as long as it has less than 2.4 million life. So that should be pretty far. I wasn't able to freeze the Poor Joy's boss, but every other boss I've been fine with. As for the curses, temp chains will reduce the action speed of Shaper by 13%, reduce its damage by 13%, reduce its crit chance by 22% for enfeeble. So I feel like they nerfed these things too much. Like, if you want to have a character that's balanced both in offense as well as curses, they went too far. The defensive curses don't really give much benefit, but the offensive curses do at least give me another 30% per curse. So it's enfeeble and temp change just doesn't feel good on bosses, but when clearing, it is amazing. Everything almost comes to a stop. As for my and when it comes to cure speed, well, each hit is going to be at about 500,000 damage. Yes, this is level 100. No, I'm not going to reach a level 100, so I guess we can take out these nodes, and that's still a substantial amount. 70% action speed, 94% less expiration time, so freezes last twice as so far. This is what I got, this is what I'm using, and it's not too bad. Anyways, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.